150.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. I hope you can all hear me today. I have turned the music right down and I have turned my voice right up. I hope you are all doing incredibly well. I had a day off yesterday. It was Halloween. We watched Beetlejuice. It was fantastic. A real well done to everybody that has held all the way down from $73,000 to $69,000. Congratulations. We're going to go through why on the stream. And we did talk about this last week. And it's important that you remember, don't be a goldfish and forget everything we talk about on here because the price moves down. Of course, we know why the price has moved down. We're going to go into it. We have a busy day today. We have a lot to talk about. It's a Friday. I didn't stream yesterday, so we've got to catch up on that. We're going to go through Michael Saylor. We're going to go through base. Who's going to base? Who are FT? I'm going to tell you that. Doge, we're going to talk a little bit about Doge. We're going to talk about Monero. We're going to talk about Web3 music. Not my cup of tea, but there we go. We're going to talk about meeting Satoshi. And then we're going to have our conclusion at the end. So it's a relaxed day today. Not too many charts, not too many liquidation charts or Dixie charts or SME charts today. It's a Friday. We try and be a little bit more sociable on a Friday because I understand some of this stuff can be, let's call it dry. It's not exactly humorous now, is it? And again, I've had a really lovely message from Packer, which I am going to read out a little bit of it. We'll look forward to listening to your stream tomorrow. You are a calming reassurance in a sea of shillfluencers, fudders, and con artists. And I like that. I think that was a very nice comment from Packer. So thank you, Packer, for that comment. I've had a few other comments like that over the last few weeks about some of the stuff that we're doing. We're not ever going to sit here and tell you something that we don't think is going to happen. So we're not going to sit here and tell you that we're going to have a $10 million Bitcoin by next year, for example. So we do try, but of course, the downside to that is that, of course, we don't get you as excited as maybe some of the younger pups that stream about crypto. Anyway, 184,000 of you do like us. So if you're new here, please say hello and also hit the subscribe, the follow, whatever buttons you've got in front of you. Target is 74,000. We still didn't hit it. We're very, very close though. And the title of the show today is Strump Stakes. Okay. The stakes are high for Donald Trump, and this is going to cause all of the markets to do exactly what they're doing. Okay, it's November the 1st. The election is in 5 days' time. The markets are going to go risk off. They're going to take the liquidity out of the market and try and wait for any kind of action like we've just seen. That's what's going to happen, okay? So don't panic about this. This is a shakeout. We haven't gone to $59,000 or $49,000. We've come back to $69,000, which of course was the previous all-time high, was it not? So don't panic. Now, also to add to the fact, it is the 1st of November, a new month. We had the monthly close. I think we managed to close. Did we close above 70,000? I can't remember. We'll have a look at the charts in a minute. And what else? Oh, yeah, we have a poll question of the day. For those of you interested, what happened? Is it, what did I write? Pre-election risk off, or is it bull market over? So far, a third of people think it's the bull market over. I don't know what to say to that. Right, let's go and have a look at the charts and see what we are up to today. So again, market cap 2.44 trillion, solid. Volume over 100 billion yet again. Bitcoin dominance, ETH dominance is now, I do believe, 72%. 72%. We were nearly breaking 70%. So 72%, that is a move up, mainly, of course, for Bitcoin. Bitcoin coming in at 69,500. It's down almost 4%. It's had a bit of a trip. Ethereum coming in at 2,500. BNB back below $600. Solana still above $164 though. That's a positive sign for me. XRP, the stable coin, hasn't moved really. It didn't care for the retracement whatsoever. Let's have a look at the gainers and the losers. We do have a few X files to get through today, but again, it's a Friday. I understand, and I don't want to worry everybody or panic everybody or go through too many charts. Let's just have a cup of coffee and have a nice day. Kea was a new token. I think it's just gone live. It's only been live a few days. Apparently, it is now ranked as 78th in the world. I haven't even looked at it, going to be totally honest. 5.6% up. Casper is coming back up. Celestia, it's below $5. I don't see the hope for Celestia at this moment in time. Radium still just over $3. Good sign. Athena, and then that's pretty much it. This is where we're going to see the bloodshed. Immutable X is down. Why is Immutable X down? I think was I going to cover that today? Basically, Immutable X has been issued with a Wells notice by the SEC. The SEC, before they sue you, they issue you a Wells notice. It's kind of like a pre-warning event. They issued one to a certain exchange in August. They're suing them. They issued one to another exchange. They're currently in the process. It's just the done thing. They're down 14.5%. And that's to be expected because, to be perfectly honest with you, if you are going to get sued, it's going to happen, whether you like it or not. Dog with Hat is down 10. Pyth is down 9. Mog. Again, if you're looking, we did the stream on Wednesday, didn't we? If you're looking to get into meme coins, these retracements, these are the times to get in, okay? Dog with Hat is at $2.30. Don't wait until it's $4.50 to buy it. I personally wouldn't be buying it because I think the market cap's too high. Mog is another one, okay? Mog is at 760 million, okay? It's retraced 10%. It's a decent chance of having a good bull run. So on these retracements is when you should pick up some of these coins. Dogecoin, we're going to talk about that in a minute. I'm not going to ruin that. Apecoin is down again. It's trash. It's absolute trash. There was the spike up. People were saying, should we buy it? I said, no, it's trash. And now it's back down to 97 cents. It's 40% down on the year. There is no hope for that token unless something changes. Popcat is down to 155 again. We talked about it at 60, 70 cents. I'm not going to talk about it at $1.55. Okay. Core is down a little bit. Helium near is down near below $4. Is an absolute steal. Okay. So again, there's plenty of opportunities on these retracements. If you missed out on near, so let's say near was at $6 3 or 4 months ago, and you're thinking I could have got in at near, and it's gone, and I've missed that opportunity. I say this all the time. You never buy the pump. There's always a chance. Crypto always gives you a chance to get back in. Immutable X are not going to go out of business because the SEC are more than likely, not guaranteed, more than likely going to drop all of their lawsuits in February when Gary Gensler is replaced. So I can't mention some of the names, the exchanges which are being sued, some of the coins which are being sued. All of those cases, XRP's case is likely to be dropped. Immutable X's case is likely to be dropped. Expect pumps in these coins. But for me, if I wanted to buy Immutable X, I would watch it for the next few days. Maybe it goes below $1. Maybe the last the last working day, maybe more news comes out that the SEC are going to sue them. Or maybe the Wells notice is replied to and then they sue them next month and it comes down to 80 cents. If you like Immutable X, go and get it. But again, watch it. This is a knee-jerk reaction, this 14%. It could come down even further. So if you want to get into that token, this is now, this period, 6 or 8 weeks, is a good time to get into it. That's enough from them. A few good mornings. I've not said some good mornings. And also, I haven't told you about the next show that is coming up. So then, November the 6th, the Orange Man is more than likely going to be in, and he is more than likely going to change a lot of things. We are streaming the day after, November the 6th, 7 p.m, and it's going to be the Chronos night. And so far, we only have 3 confirmed projects. We're going to be talking about WolfSwap, we're going to be talking about Reaper's Squad, and we're going to be talking about Croaky, I think Croaky, which is like an animation series. It's also got its own NFTs. They're trying to be outside of crypto as well as in crypto. So we've got 3 confirmed projects, but we can't get the 4th one because I don't know why they're not replying to the DMs. They were talking to me and now they're not. So we might just have to go over another project. But Chronos Night is next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central European Time. We do have some tokens to give away. We're going to be giving away some Reaper token, probably some other tokens as well. We'll see what we have. But anyway, that's next Wednesday. And Chris, Solo Sky, Danny, who else is here? Hidden. Tariq is here, Mags is here, and Packet, thank you for that message. So, a few people say hello to. That's it. Right then, let's get on with the stream. We've got a few of these. We're not going to go hell for leather today, as I've said. I am still tired, believe it or not, from Wednesday. Wednesday was tiring, even though I wasn't as dressed up as I was the year before when I was Darth Maul. I was still covered in fake, you know what. Right then, now, I'm going to just very quickly tell you something, that there is a kind of rule of thumb with these ETFs, where we have potentially 7, 8, 9 days of massive green inflows, and then every once in a while, we will have a small outflow. I think, maybe not today, maybe next Monday or Tuesday, I think we're due for an outflow. But the election is next Tuesday. Maybe the outflow is on Tuesday and the inflow is on Wednesday. But I think we're going to have another outflow from the ETFs. They can't keep sucking in all of the funds. But anyway, either way, this is the amount of money that the Bitcoin ETFs, this is the amount of money that that's flowing in to the ETFs. So this is basically translated as, this is the amount of Bitcoin they're buying on a daily basis. On a daily basis, okay? How many Bitcoin do we get mined a day? Is it 450? I'm really tired. I think it's 450. How many are they buying a day? 4,500. Okay? Do the maths in your head. They are buying 10 times the volume that we are making. Now, I know what you're thinking. They can't keep doing that forever. And that's correct. They can't keep doing that forever because there's not enough Bitcoin to buy. Anyway, always keep that in mind. Now then, you know how when we do the Wednesday stream, we always crash on the Thursday. And then I always come on here and say, you broke crypto for me. Why did you break crypto? Well, Dan Crypto Trades has actually published this. The Thursday red day strikes again. This is the average return by day on Bitcoin. Now, this brings up an interesting point. Why don't you dollar cost average in on a Thursday? If Thursday traditionally is the worst day of the week for the performance of Bitcoin, where it loses 0.1%, whatever it might be, why don't you just say, right, okay, well, according to that chart, Thursdays is the best days to dollar cost average in. So why don't you do midday on a Thursday for your dollar cost average? Because if Bitcoin comes down, the majority of coins do come down as well. So apparently, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's 0.3% to 0.1%. It's not a massive difference, but it is a difference. And statistically, it's significant. So Thursday, which is the day, if we do stream twice on a Wednesday, Thursday is the day I have off. Maybe Thursday is the day that you dollar cost average in. It would make sense. It would make sense to me anyway, because this is the only thing. If you say to me, what day should I dollar cost average in? I would probably tell you a Sunday. That would be the day I would say to dollar cost average in. Maybe a Sunday morning, not a Sunday evening. Because Monday, you've got fake out Mondays where the price is slightly volatile. So Sunday for me. But according to the charts, it's a Thursday. Right, Canary has filed for a Solana ETF. This is the second one after Van Eck. So we have two filings for a Solana ETF. Now, could this explain, and I think it is, could this explain why Solana has been doing so well? I think so. I think so, okay? I told you before when BlackRock was buying Bitcoin all of last year and didn't tell anybody, and I'm sure some of the others did. I believe that one of the major top 4 or 5 Bitcoin ETFs, I believe they're buying Solana. And I think they're buying Solana to seed the Solana ETF that they know is coming next year. Right, now to make no bones about this, this is not an if, it's a when. When are we going to get the Solana ETF? Okay, the time scale of when this happens is vitally important to the Solana bull run, because Grayscale will dump it, as it's done with Ethereum, as it's done with Bitcoin. And it caught me off guard with Ethereum because it shouldn't have dumped, because the Ethereum premium discount wasn't really enough to dump it, but the fees were. So Grayscale launches its ETF with the highest fees. So people sell out of Bitcoin or sell out of Ethereum and swap it over to BlackRock or Van Eck or whoever. If this happens in March next year, I think Solana will have a great bull run. If this happens in August next year, I think it's going to dampen the Solana bull run. And my target for Solana at the end of this bull run is $600, which is a 4x from here-ish, 3.5x from here. So it's not massively high. If they time the ETF correctly and more bullish news comes out, it could tip towards $800 to $1,000. Now, I haven't made those numbers up. There is a video I made about Solana and about the price prediction for Solana. Go and watch that video. I explain it all in there. I do actually back up what I say in my videos. Unlike a lot of people who'll come on here and go, $10 million. No, there's a reasoning behind what I think is going to happen for Solana. $600 without an ETF is best case scenario. $1,000 with an ETF is the best case scenario. It's already got a large market cap, but it really is the retail blockchain, and there's nobody near it. Now, the next question after that is, if Solana does well, what else is going to do well? The Solana ecosystem, the Jupiters, the Pies, the Radiums, the Orcas, the meme coins will all do incredibly well. So if I was going to back a horse for this bull run, it would be the Solana ecosystem, okay? But just because it's been filed, it doesn't mean they're going to get it today or tomorrow. It is likely to be ignored, and it is likely to be rejected by Gary Gensler, or Mr. Burns, however you want to describe him. Did anybody see, by the way, did anybody see the Simpsons screenshot of Maggie dressed in the purple dress or the lilac dress with the pearl necklace? And then did anybody see the fact that Kamala Harris wore exactly the same thing? I'm not saying we're living in a matrix. I'm not saying that this is all a simulation. But come on, Simpsons. I get the fact that you could probably say an egomaniac like Trump could run for the election. I get that. But getting the colour and the necklace right of Kamala Harris years ago, I mean, that's pretty accurate. Anyway, a few more good mornings. Kishan is here, and KB is here, and Bullish Bull. KB, I have your wallet address. I am going to be sending you your Mew. For those of you that don't know, we had, I think, 5 Mew winners. Or was it 6? 5 or 6 Mew winners on Wednesday night. I've given out 3 of the prizes. I think MD and KD have sent me their wallet addresses. They're going to get their Mew today. We try and give you as much crypto that you can have on the exchange that you're on, okay? Sometimes I know the exchanges don't like it when we give away coins that aren't listed on their exchange, and I get that. But we try and give away coins that are listed. So Mew is listed on the majority of the exchanges that we stream on, and we give that away. And they also sponsor the stream. And it's also one of my picks for the bull run. So we give that away. Next Wednesday, those coins are going to be coins that aren't listed on some exchanges. And to be fair to those exchanges, we won't do the giveaway on those exchanges. We will only do the giveaways on exchanges where those coins are listed, to be fair to those exchanges. Right then, Donald Trump. Again, are we living in a simulation? I would like to wish our great Bitcoiners a happy 16th anniversary of Satoshi's white paper. We will end Kamala's war on crypto, and Bitcoin will be made in the USA. Vote Trump. Now, believe it or not, you can make Bitcoin in the USA because, of course, it's mined. So if Donald Trump creates a Bitcoin national strategy in his first month, where he will remove the taxation from mining Bitcoin, he will do X, Y, or Z. Believe you me, some of my very conservative numbers will be out the door, because this guy is, you know, I watched a lot of the Joe Rogan interview, or not interview, it was a podcast, wasn't it? And people saying that Donald Trump has lost some of his mental capabilities. I mean, it's made up. It's absolutely made up. You could combine Joe and Kamala together, and they still probably wouldn't lay a glove on Trump in terms of debating, okay? And that's just me from an outsider. But the issue I've got with Donald is the World Liberty Finance Token. That's going to be his Achilles heel. Watch. Now then, this is probably the strangest headline I've ever had on the show. And I'm going to tell you what the community notes say in a second. A Russian court fines Google 20 decillion, an amount that is greater than all the wealth on Earth. The community note, by the way, very simply points out the fact that there's 3 too many zeros on the amount, and that's actually a decillion. It doesn't really matter, does it? I don't care what the fine is for. It's not relevant. It's humorous, okay? This is like the same thing that Americans do when they will fine a company $10 billion, even though the company might be worth $1 million. It's just astronomical. Or, you know, you see these prison sentences where somebody gets 45 life sentences. Well, that's 900 years. So again, I don't know what this is to do with, and it doesn't really matter, but I just think it's a ridiculous, ridiculous headline. Now, like I said, we're going to get into the news now and move on and actually get into the meat and bones of it. Billionaire Sailor's MicroStrategy unveils a 42 billion plan to buy more Bitcoin over the next 3 years. There is one issue with this, and it is share dilution. But again, nobody really cares because the price of Bitcoin is going to go up. Every time you raise capital via a distribution of shares, you dilute the value of your share. So if there are 1,000 shares and you hold 100 of them, then you hold 10% of the value of that company. If they then issue another 9,000 shares and you don't buy any, you suddenly own 1% of the company, not 10% of the company. And that's share dilution. There's also share dilution of price as well. So the value of the share might go from $10 to $1. So there's lots of things like that to take into account, but that's not why we're here. They are going to buy $42 billion of Bitcoin over the next 3 years. 21 billion in equity and 21 billion in fixed income securities to continue its aggressive Bitcoin acquisition. Now, has anybody, and I've raised this point before, has anybody out there thought about why Michael Saylor is buying all the Bitcoin? And not only that, how he's going to service the debt and what he's trying to do by holding all of this Bitcoin. Now, he's actually told us what he's going to do. And he's going to create a Bitcoin liquidity solution for countries and blue chip companies. And that will allow them to leverage the Bitcoin that he owns for various different things, honoring things, collateral, whatever it might be. And he will earn money on that. Now, if you've got 200,000 Bitcoin and they're all worth $1 million each, what have you got? $2 trillion? Can't even work the number out. $20 trillion? Whatever it is, okay? So he's going to become the liquidity provider in Bitcoin for people that need liquidity, need loans, whatever else it might be. That's what he's doing. And he's come out and said that. This isn't something I've made up. I've watched the interview in which he talked about it. That's his plan, but he never talks about the plan. All he ever talks about is buying Bitcoin. That's what he's focused on right now because it's a race in his eyes. He wants to get the Bitcoin so he can be the person to do it. He doesn't really have an apex predator around him. The only one close, really, are the ETFs, and the ETFs can't compete with him, can they? Because they are a dumb terminal. They are input-output. They're not even allowed to stake their Ethereum. So at some point, potentially in the future, he will go head-to-head with BlackRock. And, as many people have pointed out, Michael Saylor is likely to become one of the top 5 richest people in the world within the next 10 years, if he lives that long. Okay, so they're going to go and buy $42 billion of Bitcoin. This is massively bullish. Our aim is to use this new funding to purchase Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset in a manner that can generate a higher Bitcoin yield. The annual yield on Bitcoin holdings starts as 17.8% with expectations to achieve between 6 and 10% annually. So again, the value of MicroStrategy is in Bitcoin. So they're a proxy Bitcoin. So if you are listed and you can't buy ETFs or whatever it might be, you can go buy MicroStrategy stock, and that is proxy Bitcoin because 99% of the value of MicroStrategy is in Bitcoin. It's very simple. So again, this is all bullish news for Bitcoin. We're going to get on with it. We can't talk about too much about this all day. We'll be here until the cows go to sleep. Remember, if you're new here, say hello in chat. We don't bite. I'm never going to kick anybody. If you ever disagree with anything I say, comment, okay? I am not one of these, these streamers that says, I need to remove all the negativity from my life. No, we don't. If you've got a contrary opinion and you don't agree with me, put it in chat. I don't mind, okay? If you've got a question, put it in chat. I don't mind. Now, we need to get rid of the oracle's colors because this is absolutely horrific. Let's just move along a bit. Get rid of these colors and go back to something that you can actually see. This is the new chart. Where is the Bitcoin chart? There we go. Try again. Okay, this is the Bitcoin chart. So we wicked up to 73.8 and now we have retraced. And if we go to the weekly chart, just to show you something, And if we drag that line down here, we are pretty much at the last all-time high. That's actually a little bit higher than it was. Let's move it up a little bit. There we go. About there. It doesn't really matter. Now, we kind of wobbled around the previous all-time high. Then we came up to it twice, and we didn't quite break it, and then we did. And now we are up here. And where are we going to go? Well, expect volatility, okay? We have an election in 4 days' time. So the title of the show is 69,000 Bitcoin, where next? My personal opinion is one of two things. And I'm going to draw a box. And this is where I think Bitcoin can go in the next 5 days, okay? I think Bitcoin is going to sit in that zone there, okay? That's supposed to be a 3D model of a box. It's not going to happen, is it? Right, I think we could, worst case scenario, we could come down and touch the bull market support band, which is coming in at 63.4. Okay, that is a long way down. I know it is a long way down. And I'm not saying we're going to come down to it, but we have to look for previous price action. Okay, and we have to look at, if it looks like Kamala Harris is going to win the election, I think we're going below the bull market support band. And I think, let's put some letters on here. I think if Kamala is going to win, we're down here on Bitcoin. Okay. If Trump wins, let's put a D. I think, oh, look at that. That is what I think is going to happen. I am not going to write IC in the middle before anybody says anything, okay? That's what I think is going to happen. Now, people keep saying things like, Bitcoin doesn't care who wins the election. No, correct. But the price of Bitcoin does care. And if the price of Bitcoin does care, you should care for the end of the bull run. So I think Donald is a $75,000 Bitcoin. I think Kamala is a $62,000 Bitcoin, a $60,000 Bitcoin. That's what I think. They are my opinions. They are not based on anything else other than my gut. And believe you me, we can look at the charts until the cows come home and we can say, well, this fib, this RSI, whatever you want to say. But we have a very crucial election coming up. And Donald Trump is going toe-to-toe with Kamala Harris. And if he wins, we're going to $75,000. If he loses and Kamala wins, we are going to $62,000. Believe you me, if Kamala wins, they are talking about putting Gary Gensler. Are they going to move Gary Gensler to be the head of the Fed? I think that's what they talked about. So they're going to put him in charge of the monetary policy. And then they're probably going to put a really pro-Democrat into the SEC. And again, we're not going to see happy, smiley green candles if that happens. If Trump wins, I do believe if Trump wins, we are going straight to 75,000. Why? Because I think we will go above previous all-time high, and then we will wait there. And then Trump will come in, and by the end of the year, if you listen to the Oracle, who's streaming tonight, I think at 9 o'clock, he will say we're going to go to 86,000 by the end of the year. I think 84, 82, 84. But Kamala wins. You know, by the end of next year, I think the difference is between a Kamala would be getting to $100,000 for Bitcoin, and Donald would be getting to $160,000 to $180,000 for Bitcoin. That's the difference that I see. And again, I am not an expert. I don't have a crystal ball, but I do see a huge difference between the two of them in terms of their crypto policies. So solely from a crypto point of view, we want Trump to win. Forget the social side of things, forget the tariffs, forget the border, forget all of those things. Solely on crypto, we want a Donald Trump win to get that absolute blow off top. Now then, this is again, we talked before about Solana being retail. Do you know what else is retail? And do you know what else is coming up on the outside? And do you know what else nobody is talking about? Base. Base. For me, base is what Kronos, the Kronos chain, should be. Fully supported and fully backed. Franklin Templeton is going to take its treasury fund to base. So let's see, where has that fund started? Okay, didn't it start on Solana? Didn't we talk about it a couple of weeks ago being on Solana? So it's on Solana. Why? Retail. Why is it going to base? Retail. Okay, base is gonna have an absolute stormer of a bull run, and you can't buy a base token, they don't exist, but you can buy Aero, you can buy Brett. My pick for the bull run, as well as Mog and Mew and Popcat, is Brett. Whether you like the tokenomics or not, whether you like the people holding the tokens or not, whether you like the fact that there's low liquidity, Brett on base is going to win. So the $410 million fund, $410 million fund is available on Stellar, Aptos, Avalanche, Arbitrum, and Polygon. Arbitrum, yes, I mean, that is going to have a good run as well. They've got good DeFi over there. I sound like Trump. Super DeFi. Franklin Templeton's on-chain US government money market fund can now be traded on the base blockchain. The first time an asset manager is building on the layer 2. The fund has 410 million market cap, available on five other chains. Yes. So Base has become the 6th blockchain of this fund. This is the first large asset manager to directly launch on Base, a clear signal to investors and issuers of what's to come, said the head of tokenization. The layer 2 went live 2 years ago. It's done, was it 6 billion transactions? It's got 8 billion in TVL. Financial institutions like Franklin Templeton are increasingly taking advantage of fast, low-cost on-chain tech to modernize the financial system. Again, I'm not saying that Base is ever going to catch Solana, but don't fade Base. We can't look at the token because there isn't one, but I think it's going to have, I think the tokens on it are going to have a really good run. I think the way it works, I think the volumes it's got, it's all good. And I know people don't like Aerodrome because it competes with Uniswap, but Aerodrome is going great guns. As a DEX, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I did review it 6 months ago. It's pretty good. Now, Doge, is the bull run just starting? Good morning, Hopple. I hope you are well. Welcome to the stream. Smash the like button. Comment. Comparing crowd sizes, she has it in the bag. Well, I certainly hope not. Good morning from work. Good morning, Eugene. Doge sees spike in active users and price. First of all, disclaimer, I don't like Doge. I never liked it. Well, that's not true. I liked it about 6 years ago. I'm not a fan of it now. The active wallet count has doubled in the past few days. I think this wick up was based on the Elon Musk, Donald Trump thing, which he's mentioning in here. The possibility of Trump appointing Musk to lead a committee on government efficiency has invited hopes that Doge may somehow benefit directly from a Republic win next week. Again, I don't see that. I don't see it. Just because Elon Musk is in the, what do they call it? The unifying team or something like that. I don't see it. Doge is living on hopium. And that is not something, you can always want your team to win the cup. But if you don't have any decent players, you don't have decent investment, if you don't have a good manager, you're never going to win anything. Doge, what does Doge do? What has it done? Okay. I think it's still there because people expect it to become the tipping feature of X. That's it. It's closely tied to Elon Musk. Elon Musk has admitted to having a bag for himself. He's got a bag for his kid. Don't know what his kid is called, XYZ, or whatever his kid's called, Squiggle. So Doge is there just because of Elon Musk. That's it. And there was a conversation, yes, there was a conversation a long time ago between Elon Musk and the founders of Doge to actually move it from proof of work to proof of stake, cap the amount of coins because it doesn't have a maximum token amount, and I just don't see it. I mean, come on. I mean, really? Dogecoin is riding on its association with Elon Musk, who may head a committee. Musk has taken the opportunity to associate. Yeah, I don't think so. Again, you can buy whatever you want, but I'm not going to buy or have any association with Dogecoin. I did do the trade for Doge, which was in connection with when Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live. And I sold my Doge, I think I've said this before, 60 or 70 cents. I can't remember what it was, something like that. That's when I sold out of it. And I only bought it because he was going on the show. And I've never held it since. I think if you're going to buy meme coins, the two coins I would avoid for this bull run are SHIB and Doge, simply because their market caps are too high. That's it. And if you want to get a coin that's going to do a 10 or a 20x, you need to look between maybe 300 million and 800 million. And those coins have got a chance of doing a 5, 10, 15 x, in my opinion. Now then, this is a bit of an issue for comparing crowd sizes. She has it in the bag. Eugene, only reason she has crowds is because of the celebrities that she pays to appear. I did see the who was it? Beyonce turned up and gave a speech. And then Beyonce walked off, and everybody thought she was going to perform, and she didn't. And then she got a bit of booing. So I did see that. Based on what I see from over here, the media are doing their hardest to make Trump not look popular. That's the opinion I get. They're doing everything in their power to make Kamala look popular, and doing everything in their power to make Trump not look popular. But if you go off the betting odds, is it Play Market? Play Market's got Trump at a 61% chance of winning. Anyway, Monero's data protection is under fire. Now, full disclosure on this. Monero is a privacy coin. I do believe in privacy. Absolutely. I think it's our God-given right to have privacy, especially in your own home. But I do think that Turbo Cash? And I think Monero, and I think privacy coins, I think their days are numbered. And the reason their days are numbered is, although I like privacy, and I agree that our information shouldn't be there for all to see, I also think that you've also got to protect people from harm's way. And I think Monero can be used for the wrong reasons. And I made a video about it. A lot of people watched it. A lot of people disagreed. A lot of people agreed. But I think Monero getting delisted and banned in certain countries is a reason for you to see the writing on the wall for Monero. And there's not just Monero, there's a couple of other coins out there. So Monero transactions as well, you can kind of track them. There is a way where you can see the money going in and you can see the money going out. There is a way to do it. They've arrested people about it. It's data protection. Like Bitcoin or Ethereum, transactions can be tracked. Monero hides transaction details and wallet balances. Privacy technologies such as ring signatures, stealth addresses, and confidential transactions make it difficult to track the flow of money. These features have made Monero a favorite among people who value the protection of their privacy. When it comes to privacy afforded for us by a system, it's important to consider what information is leaked, the method used by Monero, whatever it might be. Okay, now, again, the issue I've got with all of this is nothing is infallible. Chain analysts found a way of de-anonymizing Monero. There you go. I managed to get that in one go. A leak reveals that multiple approach is used by utilizing the on-chain and off-chain data. Poison nodes are used as well. So you can get in. But this isn't why I am not a fan of Monero. Okay? I'm not a fan of Monero simply because I think it can be used for nefarious reasons. The fact that we are moving ever closer to dictatorship should not have escaped the notice of any attention to observer. This is a very interesting article. Who wrote this? Yaroslav Belkin. Again, I understand there's two sides to the argument. You deserve privacy, absolutely, but we also deserve protection from nefarious individuals. So while as I like the concept of Monero, in practice, it is just not feasible to have a coin like this, in my opinion. It just isn't. Because I think the risks outweigh the rewards. Now then, we're going to move on to something light-hearted. Mainstream musicians pile into Web3 to revolutionize artist rights with blockchain. Now, I heard this exact same story 4 years ago, and there were a lot of tokens that popped up to do with listening to music, paying people in these tokens. It was a big fad, and it all didn't quite go to zero, but it all came absolutely crashing down. And there were big people at the time interested in doing this. Some of the Jay-Z's, the Snoop Dogg's of the world, they were all interested in doing this. And then it all went quiet. And it's been all quiet for the last 4 years. And then just before this bull run is about to begin, up it pops again. Prominent artists, Imogen Heap, never heard of her. deadmau, I've heard of him. Have joined Core Protocol in shaking up the music industry. Yes. Who is in this? So Core Protocol is a Web3 project aimed to change how artists manage and profit from their work. The network announced that Grammy Award-winning artist Imogen Heap, deadmau, Richie Hawtin, never heard of him either. Disclosure, nope. The Streaming Dilemma. I think the issue here is that they've tried to do this before. And again, do I think that this is going to be a narrative for 2025? No, I don't. I don't think this is a narrative, full stop. I've said before, the metaverses that we've got are crap. Sandbox, Decentraland, my personal opinion, they're garbage. I think what we're going to see with some of these projects is we're going to see Web 2 and we're going to see the likes of Epic Games, Riot. In this instance, we're going to see the likes of Spotify. So, Spotify, somewhere in an office, understand that potentially the blockchain is a threat to how they work. And I think they will be the ones pushing this forward. I think trying to reinvent the wheel just after the wheel has been invented is not the way forward. And what I mean is, we've seen the digitization of everything: books, films, music, finance to some degree. We've seen that over the last 10 years with the advent of the internet. So now we've gone from digitization. The next step is tokenization, fractionalization, however you want to see it. And that is simply going to lead to a more transparent system. So how does Imogen Heap know that she's had 50 million streams on Spotify? How does she know that she's getting paid her fair amount of money? What an audit is being done by somebody, okay? Somebody can write software to skim 10%, 5% of her listens, whatever they're called, plays, sorry. And then she's being kind of, losing out. Run everything through the blockchain. Every single listen is tracked to the individual. So that individual is listening to Imogen Heap through Spotify. She can verify on the blockchain herself. They can build a system that shows it. That's how it would work. But it's going to be Spotify or Amazon Music or Apple Music or somebody like that that's going to win this race, not some cobbled together protocol by a few artists thinking they can change the world because they didn't manage to do it 4 years ago. There are artists that have made a success about it, the ones that have sold their albums as NFTs. They have worked because that NFT is resaleable, okay? So it can work, but it's just like they've just gone and sat in a coffee house and gone, you know what? I reckon we could do this. Let's throw a few $100,000 at it and see if we can get it off the ground. And then in the corner, you've got Spotify with their billions and billions of plays a month, just watching them, shaking their heads, waiting for them to fail, which is what's going to happen. Or the other way to look at it is what Sony and Apple and all the big people do. They wait for something to become a success and they buy it. Okay? There's so many examples of that around the world. Something gets too big or something looks like it's becoming a threat, it gets bought out. So if they were a success, if Core Protocol did start to get 100 million plays a month, you'll get Sony or you'll get Spotify knocking on the door and they'll buy them out, okay? But I don't see it in any future of mine. How many times have you seen YouTube competitors just fall by the wayside? They don't have critical mass. They don't have advertisers, don't have revenue streams. It's going to be the same for these artists. You need that base to start with. Now then, this was interesting. This came out yesterday, and I am not saying for 1 second that this gentleman is or is not Satoshi. Okay? This popped up on my X feed yesterday. There was a journalist that I follow, and he was sitting in a pub room in London, and all these people there had to pay £500 because Satoshi Nakamoto was going to reveal himself in a pub in London. I can't believe how easy it is to sucker 20 journalists for 500 quid each. 10 grand he made yesterday. Stephen Muller, a British Asian macroeconomist, claimed that he is the Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto at a London event on Thursday. Here's what he had to say. Unbelievable. So 16 years ago, the Bitcoin white paper was released. Now he's revealed he is the creator. On Wednesday, a press release was blasted to journalists claiming that a live demonstration would be conducted to conclusively prove the real Satoshi has been identified. The event was held at the Frontline Club, a prestigious pub in London. It cost £500 a ticket. For those of you in America, that's probably now that the pound has tanked, probably about $650. In euros, probably about 550 euros. There was a tweet that went out, the tweet that I saw. Anyway, it hasn't got that tweet. But yeah, there was I think there's probably 20 people there. Stephen Muller took the stage claiming to be Satoshi. Muller told the audience he'd previously attempted to out himself, but someone stopped him. He also claimed he was later interviewed by the BBC. They did not publish the story. And there he is, Stephen Muller, the founder of Bitcoin. Got a great beard. I'll give him that. As the event dragged on for an hour, those in attendance reportedly grew restless as he delayed in showing his evidence, claiming he couldn't get his laptop working. Eventually, the man pulled up easy-to-fake screenshots. Charles Anderson, the organizer of the event and PR manager for Satoshi Nakamoto, according to his LinkedIn, claims to have seen cryptographic evidence that Muller is the real deal, but this was not presented to attendees. One way that he could prove is, of course, moving Bitcoin from his wallet. Muller then claimed he will do that at a later date during a proper official press conference. Genesis block Bitcoin cannot be moved as simply as you think, he told the BBC. If it can be moved, but I need to prepare for it. I'll do it very soon. Now then. I mean, you're going to get these people claiming to be who they say they are. It's time to crank my saw up. Have a great weekend. You too. Now, again, I am not going to sit here and say that he isn't. There's the picture. That's the one I saw yesterday. Who published that? Joe Tidy. So Joe Tidy's the one I saw. Again, I think the issue is with these types of things that this gentleman does believe he is Satoshi Nakamoto. Maybe he believes it when he wakes up in the morning. He believes it, but he clearly isn't. I think fundamentally, at its core, if somebody sold Bitcoin from the Genesis block, it would undermine the value proposition of Bitcoin. It is supposed to be uncensorable and anonymous without a leader or a head. That's one of the tenets of it. We don't like Vitalik being the so-called head of Ethereum. We don't like necessarily Charles being the head of Cardano. The reason is they can do something stupid. There's a famous saying, isn't there? You see people on TV too much. You don't want to stick around long enough to become the villain. And I think Satoshi probably knew that, and he knew the repercussions of what he was doing. And if it was a success, then he would have a big target on his head. And this gentleman, I'm sorry to say, is not Satoshi Nakamoto in any way, shape or form. And even if he did move the Genesis block, I think it would undermine Bitcoin. So if he was, it's not a good day for Bitcoin. But of course, it's a way of making a quick £10,000 out of journalists that will turn up to the opening of a crisp packet. So there we go. We've managed to do the show on a Friday in 51 minutes. So let's go very quickly then and have a look at Bitcoin again. We're getting back up towards 70,000. We're touching it again. Maybe we have another good day and get back above 70,000. What I will do is I'll use this time to tell you what is coming up. So let me switch cameras for 1 split second. Give me a minute. Close that down. And then bring this up. There we go. Okay, I'm here now, bottom corner. Next Wednesday, we are going to do an election special. That election special is the day after Donald Trump, in my opinion, is going to win the election. And I would expect the show to Bitcoin to be around $74,000 or $75,000 if he wins. That's what I think. Okay, it's my opinion. I know Hopple in chat thinks that Kamala's going to win. Maybe she does. But I think he's going to win. So next Wednesday will be 24 hours after the end of the election or the end of the voting. So we should have a rough idea who has won. I think it's going to be a landslide. I don't even think it's going to be close. I think they're going to take the House. I think it's going to take the presidency. I think it's going to be a clean slate. I think the Democrats have made a right mess of choosing Kamala. I'm sure. My absolute solid belief is Michelle Obama stands instead of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The Democrats win. That's my belief. The fact that they put Kamala up is a sign that maybe they don't have any dissenting voices in their camp to actually say, wait a minute, who would win, Michelle Obama, Robert Kennedy, or Kamala Harris? Anybody in their right mind is going to pick Robert Kennedy or pick Michelle Obama. Don't know why they went with Kamala, but it's not my problem. Not our problem either. We're not Americans. But so next Wednesday, I expect this to happen. We will be live. We're going to do a Chronos night. We do them once a month. And the Chronos night is very simple. We go and have a look at projects. We go and have a look at the Chronos chain. We have a look at what new tokens are coming out this week. Next week, we're going to be looking at WolfSwap, Reaper Squad, Crokey, and then one other to be confirmed. And we don't do this to get you to buy every project that we talk about. We do this to show you a different chain. So, long story short, 6 months ago, we were very, very Solana heavy. We talked about Solana projects all the time. Jupiter, talked about Camino, we talked about Step Finance. We would talk about all the meme coins on Solana. And yes, Solana is a massive chain. But we also then decided that we needed to look at another chain that isn't in the spotlight. We needed to find a chain where we could actually talk about projects. It's easy for me to sit here and talk about Popcat or talk about Mog, talk about Mew, talk about Jupiter, because they're front and center of every news outlet because they've got multi-billion-dollar market caps. Chronos doesn't. Biggest coin on Chronos probably has a $30 million market cap. So we picked a chain that we think has opportunity to grow, and we've covered the projects on there. And once a month, we cover them. So that's going to be next Wednesday. Now, tomorrow, I will be streaming again at 1 o'clock. And I am going to go through copy trading, which is not something I normally talk about. I normally talk about project reviews and things like that. But tomorrow, I'm going to be looking at copy trading. What is copy trading? How do you do it? How should you do it? I'm going to do a live stream from the inside of one of the exchanges, and I'm going to show you basically the pros and cons of copy trading. That's what we're going to do. That's going to be tomorrow about 1 o'clock. We also have some videos coming up, some sponsored videos that we're going to be doing, which we're not going to talk about on here. We've got them to do. We've also got our Sunday 4 in 4, where we talk about 4 news clips on a Sunday. We've got that to come up. We've got our OG video which we release on a Sunday as well. I know what I'm going to talk about on that. So there's a lot happening in crypto warehouse land, okay? And the only way you can stay in touch with crypto warehouse land is by following us. So whatever platform you're on, press the follow button. Give us a follow. We are trying to break that glass ceiling and get to the point where we really do have a 7-day-a-week capability where we can do 10 or 15 videos a week. We can do 7 to 10 live streams a week. But we need that terminal velocity, and we're not quite there. And the way to get there is to have metrics. And the way to get metrics is to have followers and viewers and all that kind of good stuff. So the way to help us for free is follow us on all of our socials. Follow us on the exchange that you're on now. Comment on the stream. Say hello to us. We do reply to you. If you ever got any problems, reach out to us, message us directly on the platforms that we're on, and we will hopefully answer your questions. Now, it is a Friday. It's 11:57. We have got to the end of the show 3 minutes early. So if anybody has any questions, fire away. 2 things to mention, though, is that MD and KD both won the Mew giveaway on Wednesday. I am going to be sending you your Mew in the next, probably in the next half an hour. So if you've sent me your wallet addresses, I will send you that across. And that is pretty much it. If you've got no more questions, then we are pretty much done. I think Bitcoin this weekend is likely to go somewhere, hopefully between 70 and 71,000. If that wick down to 69,000 was the bottom, hallelujah. But remember, next Tuesday, it is going to be volatile. So my very simple advice to you guys out there, I personally wouldn't use leverage Saturday, Sunday, Monday or Tuesday. That would be my advice. If you think that Donald is going to win, and you're pretty sure that Donald is going to win, I would wait as close to Monday as possible. The issue is, if you long Bitcoin and news comes out that Kamala's exit polls are looking really good, you're going to get wiped out to the downside. Okay, so you've got to play a bit of chicken with the money makers, and I personally am not going to do it. But if I was going to suggest to you when the best day to do it is, it's going to be Monday or Tuesday next week. If we see a huge correction to the downside, 67,000, 65,000, I'd long from there. But again, it's not financial advice, and I would only long from there because I think the orange man is going to win. Other people think Kamala is going to win. If you think Kamala is going to win, you should be shorting Bitcoin from 70,000. But again, for the next few days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, I wouldn't be doing any of that because I think there's going to be a lot of tomfoolery on Monday. Fake out Monday, we could wick up to 73, we could go down to 67, we don't know. But anyway, I am just rambling on. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the show. It is a Friday. I am streaming again tomorrow. It's a 1 p.m. stream, so I will be starting an hour from now tomorrow. If you want to pop along and look at copy trading, that's what I'm going to be doing. Until then, thank you, Eugene. Thank you, Hopel. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Bullish Bull. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a great weekend. You, as always, have been great. I have been Mike. Until next time.